Great. So thank you so much again. I'm Jessica Horde, Director of Marketing at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Memphis, Memphis Habitat for short. So I thank y'all so much for having us this morning. We're excited to talk about what we do at Habitat and tell you a little bit more about everything that we've got going on right now, which is a lot, as you alluded to. So I actually would like to start with a question and then a quick video, if that's okay. And then y'all can listen to me run my mouth, because I could do that for a long time. So first question is, has anybody actually participated in a Habitat effort? Has anybody done Habitat before? Okay, a few of you. Okay, great. I always like to kind of gauge the audience's past experience. So if you would, I'd love to show this video. It's really brief, that kind of gives an overview. It kind of just gives you a glimpse at truly what Habitat does, not the nitty gritty, but in a broad sense. So you saw, of course, that it's actually a local build here. We're Habitat for Humanity of Greater Memphis. If you just go ahead and advance to the next slide. So this is Habitat's mission, and it's a new mission statement. We've actually kind of been revising and, I guess, formalizing, just kind of rebranding ourselves a little bit around the world. So Habitat for Humanity in general has been around since 1976. So we're an international organization. We are just the Memphis office, or Memphis chapter, if you will. So our mission is that, driven by the vision that everyone needs a decent, affordable place to live, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Memphis welcomes all people to partner in helping families achieve the strength, stability, and self-reliance they need to build better lives for themselves. Working in our community and around the world, as I said, we're an international organization. Habitat's a nonprofit, ecumenical Christian organization. So we are here in Memphis, but we're also in 70 countries around the world. Go ahead and skip ahead. So what I want to talk to y'all quickly about today is just some history of ours, and then we'll get into the info about what Habitat actually does. So as I said, Habitat for Humanity International was founded in 1976 in Americus, Georgia, not by President Carter. That's a common myth. President Carter obviously is our most well-known volunteer and supporter. Habitat for Humanity was actually founded by a gentleman named Millard Fuller and his wife Linda. And I could tell you all about that at another time, because it'll take a while. But President Carter did not found Habitat. So it's some trivia. If you're ever at trivia, you'll know he didn't. We were founded here in 1983, so this is actually our 33rd year. We're very excited. Our first home was constructed the following year in 1984 for Miss Savannah Simmons, who you'll see right there. That was just a couple years ago. So Miss Simmons is still in her home. She actually paid off her home in 10 years. Paid off, which we'll talk about in a minute. And more than 445 home buyers have been served through Habitat mortgages here in Memphis alone since 1983. You can skip ahead. So did you hear a word that you probably don't associate with Habitat a lot, right? Did you hear the word mortgage? Did any of you know that Habitat provided mortgages? You did not. Did you think that the homes were free? It's okay if you did. You can totally tell me. It's okay. So Habitat is not a giveaway program. We have never been a giveaway program, but a lot of people just don't necessarily realize how it all works. It's actually much more complex. Even Liz herself, when she first started learning about Habitat and thinking about coming to work for us, she didn't know all of what actually goes into becoming a Habitat homeowner, a Habitat home buyer. It is not a giveaway program. Families have to qualify. They have to have, we kind of summarize it as need, partner, and pay. They have to have a demonstrated need, a willingness to partner, and ability to repay the mortgage. Go ahead. So this is a little bit deeper dive into the need, partner, pay piece. Our homeowners have to have a demonstrated need, as I said a minute ago, which for us means several things. It can mean homelessness, which doesn't necessarily mean homeless. It means they don't have a home of their own. They could be living with family. They could be living with relatives, friends, what have you. Substandard conditions. They might be living in a place that needs some work, a rental property that just is not sufficient for them. Maybe there's mold, maybe there's insects, maybe there's leaks, any number of things. Cost burden, which is something we see a lot here in Memphis, and Liz can certainly attest to that, because Liz actually works with the families when they apply to our program. She underwrites the mortgages and approves them to be even accepted into our program. So cost burden basically means that if you've bought a home yourself, you know that if you were going to spend more than 30% or so on your mortgage, you wouldn't get approved beyond that. Well, we see families a lot of times who are applying for our program who are spending 30% is not even often that we see that. We are seeing people spending 50% and sometimes more than 50% of their income on the place they're living in. So, and in fact, we've seen people up in the 70s, 70% of their income. Our average homeowner makes around $24,000 a year, and that's on average. Of course, it depends on family size. But think about that. If you're spending 50% of your income just on rent and you're bringing home $24,000 a year, you only have 12 left. So how can you deal with, car payments, paying down credit card debt, utility bills, healthcare, food, all those things. How do you do it? So what Habitat exists to do is to make it possible for these families to own a home of their own, truly own a home, buy a home for the first time, and build wealth by owning a home. And you'll hear us use the word empower a lot. What Habitat, at the heart of what we do, what we're about, is empowering these families to change their situation and to build the strength, stability, and self-reliance that they need to make a better future for themselves. So it is about a house, of course, but it's more than that. It's much deeper than that. Another thing that we see under the demonstrated need here in Memphis, and these percentages kind of give you a sense of what we see often percentage-wise recently, but families that apply to our program, we see overcrowding a lot. People using rooms that are not bedrooms as bedrooms, or multiple generations living together, multiple families living together sometimes. So that's something we see often under the need. Willingness to partner. A lot of people have heard about sweat equity. That's volunteering. That's the homeowners working on their home, other homeowners' homes, working on Habitat projects, volunteering in our Restore, volunteering for other nonprofits. So our homeowners do have to have the willingness to partner with us. We internally kind of call them partner families. But truly what they do is they partner with us and we with them. And they have to fulfill 350 to 400 hours of sweat equity. They also attend a 12-week home buyer education class that Liz teaches. That actually starts tomorrow night. And they learn about budgeting. They learn about homeowners insurance and how that works. They learn about home maintenance. They learn about how to talk to code enforcement. They learn about all these different things to prepare them for being a homeowner because they have never owned a home before. Our homeowners are first-time homeowners. So they also have, as I said, you've got need, you've got partner, and you've got pay. The homeowners, again, have to be willing and able to repay the mortgage. And Habitat mortgages here in Memphis are typically a 30-year mortgage. And we say affordable mortgages. What that means for us, an affordable mortgage is a 0% interest mortgage. And that is the case because that breaks down that affordability barrier for them. It makes it possible for them to buy a home when they otherwise could not access a mortgage through the typical means. So they do a down payment, they save an emergency fund, and again, it's a 30-year mortgage. So the income range varies based on the family size, but we do look at HUD guidelines and we work, 30 to 60% of area median income, somewhere in there. In the range, most of our people are around 50, up to 80. But typically, I would say 40 to 60 is probably what we do the most. Yes. So we're here to give these families a chance to buy a home when they otherwise could not. And a lot of our homeowners are the first people to own homes in their families. So it's pretty amazing. You can go ahead to the next slide. So I said Habitat builds homes. This is just kind of a snapshot of some of our homes. This is actually a neighborhood near the airport called Trinity Park, our first all Habitat plan development. To date, we've built more than 445 homes and sold those here in Memphis. Our homes now range from 3 to 5 bedrooms to 2.25 baths. And we build the homes based on family size as much as we can to fit with their family's need. Energy efficient, they are built to MLGW EcoBuild standards to help keep the monthly bills affordable for the families. They have a full appliance package. They are handicap adaptable, so they do meet ADA requirements. If a homeowner has a specific need or we have a homeowner in a wheelchair, we'll build it to fit their need. They're designed to blend with the neighborhood. So if we're building, this is our own neighborhood, but if we were building in a neighborhood where there were existing homes, we would build to fit with the look of that neighborhood. For example, in the neighborhood we've been working in recently, Uptown, it's a historic neighborhood. So our homes look a little different there because we have to fit with the look of those historic homes. And the funds to build these homes, because again, a home doesn't just appear out of nowhere, right? We are constantly raising funds to support our program that helps fund not just the home building, but it underwrites the building of the homes, the materials for the homes, as well as the home buyer education and all aspects of the home buyer program. So the funds come from businesses, churches, schools, and civic groups. You can go ahead. Yes, we're getting to that. So a new piece, and I'll just go through this quickly. A lot of people don't know that Habitat is doing neighborhood revitalization. So our kind of focus, our mission remains the same, but it has expanded in a sense that we know now that to truly address the issue of shoring up neighborhoods through new homes, as well as to fully address the issue of blight and neighborhood revitalization, we have to address existing housing stock as well as bringing in new home buyers, new taxpayers. So we are actually doing what we call neighborhood revitalization now, which includes repairing existing homes for low-income families. That focus has been in the Uptown neighborhood north of downtown, north of St. Jude. We've done 80-plus properties there as far as repairs go, and that's been a lot of roofs, fascia. It really varies per house, but it's trying to help keep these longtime neighborhood residents in their homes while we are also building new homes on vacant lots to bring in new homeowners and taxpayers to help revitalize that neighborhood. Sometimes. Sometimes. Go ahead. And here's just a picture of one of the homes that we've worked on in Uptown. So that home actually is an interesting story in that our critical repair program, our revitalization program, really focuses on critical repairs first. So we don't necessarily paint the homes unless we actually had a sponsor that wanted to work with a veteran and do some beautification on a home. So that's how the painting of this home came about. But this homeowner in particular, his bedroom floor had pretty much collapsed. His foundation had blown out on one side, and so he just didn't go into that part of his bedroom. And he had a gap about this high between the floorboards and the wall. And of course, that completely affected, the heat and air, his bills every month, and he was just going to live with it. He didn't have the means to take care of it himself. And so he just moved his stuff away and didn't go on that side of the room, put blankets down. And we did some other things for him as well, repairing some drywall from leaks, making sure the roof wasn't leaking anymore. I think we may have actually replaced his roof, dealt with some sewer issues. But, the reality is these families have been making about $10,000 a year, give or take, that we've been doing critical repairs for. A lot of them have ended up being seniors, and they just don't have the wherewithal to maintain, a 100-year-old home, but they don't have anywhere else to go. They're not able to sell the home, or they couldn't sell the home for what they would need to get out of it to buy another house. They might have to go into subsidized assisted living. There's all those things to consider, and they really want to stay in their homes. This is their home, and they've lived in this neighborhood for a long time. So, doing this project in Uptown has kind of led to some other projects that we have. Additional things that we've done in Uptown as far as revitalization goes, we've done murals, bike racks, and crime and blight have actually gone down since we've been working in Uptown. It's not just on us, of course. There are other partners in the neighborhood doing things to help improve that neighborhood, but a lot has been done and a lot has changed. Skip ahead. And we already kind of covered this a little bit, so I will just let y'all skim over it really quickly. Our mortgages range from $380 to $500 a month. That's the mortgage, insurance, and the taxes. So as you can see, it truly can change everything for a family when they are going from spending $832 a month, which is the average 2-bedroom apartment rent here in Memphis, to spending $500 or less for maybe a 5-bedroom house. That can change everything for them. Go ahead. So aging in place, I mentioned our work in Uptown and our revitalization efforts for those families. We saw a lot of seniors. We saw that there was a huge need, and working with some of our partners in the city, we learned that the need is even larger than we ever envisioned. I think there's an estimated 7,900 families in need of what we call aging in place repairs. That program launched early 2015, and it really focuses on helping low-income senior citizens remain in their homes. And by doing critical repairs when necessary, but primarily focusing on mobility and accessibility improvements, grab bars, ramps, widening doorways if needed, those sort of modifications that can help a homeowner maintain their independence and stay in their home longer. And so we hope to serve more than 250 families by the end of this year with that program. And we hope to continue it. Of course, we're still raising money to keep it going. Next slide, please. And this, again, like I said, our partners are from all over the city, various types of organizations. If you have any interest in learning more about that, I can put you in touch with our development department to learn more about all of our programs and if there's a way that you could be involved. Go ahead. Again, volunteerism. Obviously, everybody knows that Habitat is a volunteer opportunity. Right now, our most urgent volunteer needs are related to the Restore because we're prepping for this project that I'll touch on in just a second that y'all have already asked about. So the Restore is a great way to get involved. Individuals or groups can volunteer in the Restore, 14 and older to be there. It's a great thing for church groups, school groups, spring break, team building. It's indoors, so if you don't want to be outside, the store is a good option. Go ahead. The Restore. I'm glad to hear that y'all have been to the Restore. It is an ongoing fundraiser for Habitat. We are open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. We sell almost everything in the kitchen sink, frankly. Everything in the store is donated. It's a tax-deductible donation. You can drop off donations Monday through Saturday, or we offer a free pickup service, which will come to your home and remove large things like refrigerators, couches. We know that not everyone can bring those in on their own. So we offer that service as a free service to our customers and our donors to help. So that's just for donations. We do not deliver what you purchase in the store. But the store is open to the public, and everything that's sold in the store, all the proceeds go to benefit Habitat's mission and help us help more families. Next slide, please. Okay, you asked about this. So, yes, Memphis Habitat is honored to actually be the host and the partner of Habitat for Humanity International for really the biggest event that Habitat International does as far as, I guess, an awareness standpoint every year, and it's called the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. So that will actually take place here in Memphis this August from the 21st through the 26th. We will be doing 99 projects total that will be touched by our supporters of this project, the funds that we raise. But that week alone, we will be working on 19 new homes, 10 beautification projects. Yes, it's actually 21, but 2 homes will be done already before we get there because we're going to need some office space during the week. And so 19 new homes that week, 10 beautification projects that week, and 6 ramps around Shelby County. Most of our work for the Carter Work Project will be focused in Uptown, but the senior effort will be spread out depending on who qualifies for that. So we are very excited about this. We do expect President and Mrs. Carter to be here that week and build with us, and we are expecting the other guests that you referred to. Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood were actually here last November. When we announced this project, they were here with President and Mrs. Carter, and we had a build day in Uptown, and they were here to help us announce this exciting project. So we are, fast and furious working to raise funds for this project. If anyone wants to learn more, I'd be happy to put you in touch with the folks at Habitat, and I can talk to you more about it, afterward. But we're right now raising funds to make this project happen and make it a success, and we want the whole community to get behind it. So there's lots of ways folks can help.
Houses are also...
They are. Liz has been working hard. The neighborhood where we'll be building, it's Bearwater Park, north of Uptown, or in the northern part of Uptown, and it's going to be 21 new homes. And Liz has already found the families. They're starting class this week, and they will be ready to go to build their homes and to move in by the end of the year. So we're very excited. We're working on that as well. We can talk a little bit more. I can share some information. Next slide. And that's really it. These are all the ways you can learn about Habitat. Our website's memphishabitat.com, memphisrestore.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, all those places. And the Restore has a very serious Facebook following, so I always like to plug that. If you want to kind of keep up with what we've got in the store, we do a photo gallery each week to kind of give people a peek. There's no way we could show you everything. But please check us out. We would love to talk with you more about Habitat, answer any questions you have. Liz, I'm sorry, I told you I could talk a long time.
No, I love it. But I want to say that the Restore, how it differs from other places is that because we build homes and...
Hold it up.
We partner with Home Depot and Lowe's, so we get a lot of their stuff. So we're very nice.
We are fortunate in that, it really depends, of course, on the retailers and things like that. But we do sometimes, it is a good opportunity, say a company, even small businesses, if they, have a discontinued product or they have, excess inventory at the end of a season. it's a great way to donate those things. Of course, we'll work out pickup if needed. It is tax deductible, and everything goes to support what we're doing. So if you're cleaning out a home, we've actually had people who've downsized. Maybe someone has moved into assisted living. People are renovating. We take kitchen cabinets that have been taken out.
And they sell.
They do. Cabinets, furniture, appliances are probably our three.
Yeah.
See, there you go. DIY folks love the store. You need to email me that. I'd love to put that on our blog.
Sure. We actually had a volunteer.
And you put a new top on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Wow.
Oh, that's neat.
And you just never know what you're going to find. That's the great thing about the Restore. If you like doing that sort of thing, and if you're trying to do a project on a budget, I know my house has been helped by the Restore a few times. So it's wonderful, and you can really get creative. And if you have that vision, it's a really fun place to go.
We have a lot of doors.
A lot of doors,
wood
right?
Doors, windows.
They do,
Yeah.
and it's really fun. And I say we have a blog. I've got my card if anybody's interested. If you want to share that story, we love trying to give our customers the ideas that hey, you can do this yourself. So you see it on HGTV, well, you can do it too. So that's the Restore. It's really fun. Do y'all have any questions? I know we talked right up until the end, but do you have questions? Go ahead. The Carter Project is August 21st through 26th. Oh, that's fine.
I would love to have families right now because I do have the subdivision filled, but I just did that yesterday. So I would like to have a few reserve families. Plus, we never know when another home becomes available. Out of the 450 that we've built, occasionally we'll have a foreclosure, less than 1%, by the way. But when we do, we get the house back. So the next family on the list could possibly buy a home in another area that we've already built.
Well, I would say there's a lot of ways to get involved. Of course, first of all, please consider, I would say volunteering in the Restore is a great thing because it's easy to do. You can do it anytime. Thinking of ways you can maybe donate to the Restore if you're, renovating your office even. There are things that the Restore might accept. Our do take list is very long. Our do not take list is very short. That's all on our website. But we're always looking to talk to businesses about ways to get involved with our builds in the future. And really, we're always open to the conversation to see where your business's interests lie and where they might intersect with what we've got going on at Habitat. Because this is there's other things besides everything I've talked about here. So and things that we know that might be on the horizon.